Video broadcast.
Hello? Yes, can you see me now? Yeah. Hello, world. Google tells me we're live on the air. So we're going to hope that we are live on the air as I adjust this laptop. My name is TJ Doyle. I'm the Director of Social Media for the National Association of Realtors, and I'm here along with Jessica Lautz, the Director of Survey, Research, and Communications in our research division at NAR. And we're going to talk about the release of the 2015 NAR member profile, an annual report we do. We brought some props. It's like a Carrot Top show. Jessica, we do this report every year. I'll ask the simplest, most basic question. What does the typical member look like?
Sure. So we've actually done this report. This is very exciting to me because we actually had our library scan an old copy back to 1978 of this profile. So it's very cool to be able to track some of these numbers over time. So our typical member today is very similar actually to what we saw in 1978, not surprisingly. What we see is our typical member is actually a female, and she is in her late 50s. She is college educated, and she's a homeowner.
Very good. Let's talk a little bit about years of experience that you see in the profile, because
Sure.
I know that we have a wide band of folks, the newbies, the YPNers, and the seasoned veterans. So what do you have for us on that?
Sure. So what we actually see today is that the typical years of experience in real estate is actually 12 years. And that's increased over time. And so what we're actually seeing is that people are staying in the field longer. They're delaying retirement. They're seeing the real estate market bounce back. And so they're staying in. So our tenure continues to increase. But one of the things that we've actually seen this year as well is that we have this influx of new members into the field. So we actually see it growing.
I would be remiss if I did not ask about websites, blogs, the interwebs, social media. How are our members, who I find when we chat with them are very savvy when it comes to mobile and using technology? What do they say about blogs, websites, and social in particular?
Okay. So you just asked me like 5 questions. So I'm going to try and answer those one at a time here. Yes, sponsored by coffee. So what we actually see is that 90% of firms out there actually they're on a website, they have a platform, and so they're out there. Now, not all agents actually have websites of their own. So some of them are actually provided by their firm, and so they're filling in their information, and it's really just a point and click. But other people are really savvy and they have their own websites, and they're really embracing that. So there's a wide range of technology. What we are seeing is that 2/3 of our members have a website. So whether it's provided by their firm or they're making it themselves from scratch.
And that number, I have to guess, has increased tenfold in the last 5-10 years?
It has, but the number that's really increased, that's really like blowing away and very, very impressive, is that we're seeing social media completely increased. So we started asking this in 2009. We were a little late to the party in asking this question, as we sometimes are in surveys. But in 2009, only about 30% of our members actually had a social media presence that they were using on a professional basis. But now it's 2/3. So we're really seeing this increase. And I think it really speaks to where their customers are. They want to be able to interact, build these online communities, and they know that embracing that is important.
Very good. I'm going to look down, have some coffee, and look at my notes. One of the bigger questions, and we got this on the Twitter chat yesterday, and if you haven't checked it out, at NAR_research and at Realtors, we retweeted a bunch of their information. Expenses. We asked specifically about the different expenses that our members have, if you'll break those categories down, and then let us know what the biggest expense the report tells us is.
Sure. So we ask a laundry list of expenses. So I'm not going to go through all of them without a list in front of me. But the biggest expense that our members have, and this is on a continual basis every year, is actually transportation, their vehicle costs. They do a lot of driving. They're on the road a lot, showing homes, going to open houses. So they're constantly out there and they're on the move. And that also speaks to the mobile number as well. So just thinking about having social media presence, and now you have your iPhone in your hand as you're driving, hopefully not. And so really being on the move. And that's the top expense. But what we do see is there's a number of other expenses out there. So it's promotion of your business, your website costs. If you have an office, that brick and mortar office, having that expense as well. But it varies quite a bit. So if you're a broker, you're a manager at your firm, and you actually are in control of that office, it's going to differ from your sales agent, who's the man on the street who has that vehicle expense.
And if you are watching this in the car, I hope you're at a stoplight or a stop sign. That'd be terrific. Or pull over to the side of the road because you don't want to miss his Google Hangouts. All right, so our members help folks get into homes, sell their homes. how many of our members or what percentage of our members own their own home or own more than one home?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so we actually see that 85% of our members actually own their own home, and it's stayed flat for several years. So that they're just going to have a higher home ownership rate than the general population out there. What we also see is that they take advantage of showing these properties. Perhaps they're seeing this diamond in the rough and capturing it for a commercial property, for a residential rental property. And they also are owners of vacation homes as well. So really taking advantage of those types of properties that are out there and seeing the investment potential as well.
Very cool. I'm going to see if we have any questions, because we actually somehow lined this up so I can look at questions. And oh, look at that. There's a Q&A box. Work with me, people. Okay, nothing yet. Wink, wink to the 9th floor. Where's that question you were going to ask? So I've asked you a lot of things that I've scribbled in notes over there. What other big trends am I missing in asking you? What other big top line results came out of this year's report?
So one of the fun things that I really like to look at is our increase in age. It is very interesting to see that the median age of our members is 57 years old, and that's the median. So that's the halfway mark, meaning half are below and half are above 57, and they are still actively working in the market. That's something I find very interesting. And when we look at that 1978 report, which we scanned, you can see that the median age back then was only 42. So we're seeing just this seasoned professional staying in the field. I think that's very interesting.
Okay.
One of the other things that I find is really interesting is referrals. We see this in both our profile home buyers and sellers, which we also do on an annual basis, but we also see this in our member profile that most of our members' business is actually coming from repeat clients, 20% as a median, and 20% from referrals. So really having that community that's coming back to them and building those people around you.
And there's something interesting that I think I noticed this year, that only 5% of our members, real estate is their first profession.
Right.
So speak a little bit, or as the goofy reporters say at every sporting event, talk to me about that statistic.
Sure. So that's a really interesting one. So real estate is actually a field where a lot of people come to after a first career in something else. So sales, financials, business, a lot of people come and they're like, you know what, I can make my own hours. This is a great profession. I can set my own schedule, or I can work with a broker and really have this good opportunity here. And it's something that people come from all different professions. So I listed a few, but many people from education, from the military, from police services, so really a wide spectrum of our members. So that's very interesting, but only 5% actually start off and say, you know what, I'm straight out of high school or straight out of college, I want to start real estate as your first career. I think that also goes to the age when I was talking about that as well, because we actually see it as a second career option. So perhaps in retirement, you're thinking, you know what, I do want to set my own hours, but perhaps I want to do it in a resort location where I can become an agent and really take up this as a hobby and profession.
Great. I'm running out of things to ask you based on the highlights in the press release. Is there anywhere we want to direct folks to on your website and or our social channels?
Sure, absolutely. So on realtor.org, you can check out the research and statistics page, and we have a whole bunch of reports. So this is just our latest report that's out there. The next week, we're coming out with a commercial member profile, an international profile. We have a ton of information on home buyers as well. So if you're interested in any of these topics, all of that good material is out there.
And we like to put things in infographic form. There you are. It's a picture with some nice bulleted points. So you'll find on both realtor.org and our Twitter handles. So that's @Realtors and @NAR_research. And then our Facebook pages, which are a National Association of Realtors and NAR Research. We try to chunk the information out of the member profile and make it very actionable for you. And so that you can use it, you can share it on your pages, share it with your clients, so that you get something out of this that helps you the next time you are in an open house or driving someone around town, just a little bit of nugget that helps you in your daily business practice. Jessica, anything else before I sign off?
No, I think that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This was our second Google Hangout. Despite the upfront technical difficulties, I think this was a good sequel, more of an Empire Strikes Back than a Superman 2. So Jessica, thank you again, and we will check in next time. Thank you.